Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Siddha Vetha webinar series. So today we have an interesting topic on how you're using Marma to solve headache, migraine problems. So this is very important topic because a lot of people, almost 73% of the people suffer from headaches in one way or the other around the world. So often we think that if you take some medicines, like one shot, one medicine, this should solve the problem. So when I was little, I used to take like crocin or some tablets. I used to know the allopathic medicine and already take it myself. I don't have to consult a doctor because I know these things are working. So this is how it has been, and most people do that. They just wanted to take some medicines and solve the problem because they cannot move on from there. So let us understand what the fundamental of headache is. Unless you know what is headache, if you don't know the problem, you don't have a solution. You don't know the solution. So it's simple. So let us identify the problem, how the problem comes to us. What is headache? So headache is not just because it is in the head. So something that is a separate thing. You can have a problem related to the head itself and you can get a headache. That headache has nothing to do with, generally we're talking about the headaches, different types of headaches. So there are more than 10 types of headaches listed in the ancient knowledge. I'm not going into that. Even in the Vedic literature, this, it has been listed. One of my books I have, we are talking about Agni Karma. There I have listed, I edited that book. It is available in Amazon. I think so. I'm the editor of that book, Agni Karma, Agni Karma. So that in that book, there is a reference of different types of headaches has been, if you wanted to, is Ayurvedic references. So now, out of my own experience and analyzing deeply, because I give solutions to people, and then if it didn't work, why it didn't work? So I've been doing research for more than 30 years and trying to find, why a particular person cannot come out of the headache, even if I give some solutions. So now let's look into what headache is. So I'll share some slides in general, then we can discuss. So here is slide. Share. So I'm keeping this simple. Later maybe I can circulate this. Slideshow. Okay, so Marma for headaches and migraines. So first of all, what is Marma or Varmam? So Marma, Varma, all are like ancient Tamil words. The Marma is also, went into as Marma therapy, but Marma is actually even Marma is a Tamil word, derived word, but we used also in the Sanskrit Ayurvedic tradition. So here, without understanding this Marma, lot of other things, you can do without using Marma. There are other solutions you can do. It's not like, only Marma can solve this, but major problems you can solve. If you have a major problem, Marma can do a lot of things to solve the problem. So in Marma, there are important point, because I have discussed Marma, I am just giving you two things here. Units, the units of force of pressure, depth of pressure. So these are very important. So what are the units? How do we say this is this much unit? How much pressure we have to give to each Marma? Because we're going to go into Marma little bit right now. If you want to understand my deeper Marma, you can take my online course. It's available, and you can register for the course, and you can, I've done a lot of Marma courses, so it's all recorded courses, so you can listen to that. So what is a pressure unit? And so we call it as matres. How much pressure we give in certain Marma, Marma points. Okay, so I'm assuming for people who don't know what is Marma, I'll give you a little short to those who are new, but others who already attended my sessions, you might be knowing. But for people, so I'll stop this. So I'll tell you what the Marma is. So imagine you have the sewage pipe, right? The drainage pipes. So there you have what is called the manholes. So the manholes are lids, so that you can, you can open the lid and you can go into the sewage, clean it up. So like that, our body is made up of 72,000 tiny little tubes. It cannot be measured with the modern instruments because it's all very quantum mechanical in nature. There is an uncertainty principle. Therefore, because for people who don't know why, because you may be a medical doctor, but you may not be knowing what physics is. So it's very good to understand, at a certain level, the light cannot zoom in. Light has a limitation. The the modern microscopic limitation. The microscope can go. I have worked in tunneling microscope, the best microscope, scanning electron microscope, etc. Right, fluorescent, all those things. So here, whatever deeper, so I worked on nanotechnology, putting one single nanotube inside a little well. That's my project, my Ph.D. project. Those things are assumptions. What I made was mostly assumption, because there is no evidence. You cannot make evidence like a solid evidence based on what the pictures, etc. So beyond a certain point, we have to make assumptions. So likewise, so even though you may not be believing in the Marma nadis, the nadis they are in that regime where you cannot access those using the microscope. So therefore, if you're a doctor or surgeon, it's not a modern thing, right? But we have, if you go to Harvard Medical School, you can learn Marma, $5,000 they charge you, and you can learn meridians and other things, and they're working on research and everything is there. So they're trying to find some relations with modern science and doing this. Okay, somehow they will find out, because modern science is also based on assumption completely. So all mechanisms, so they will try to find connections like that. Okay, so here the whole idea is that when the Marma nadis are like the drainage pipes, 72,000 pipes, which is downloaded, the ancient sage scientist downloaded from the, this information from the real mingling with the consciousness, is the Anandamaya Gosha, we call it. Then, new information comes, and that's also statistical. So a lot of, not one sage scientist, there are so many thousands of Marma books. Okay, so there we can find this information is very scientific, and they talk about very tiny little femto wells. So they are reservoirs. The femto reservoirs are, they will capture that energy. So the whole idea is that the analogy is the sewage pipe and the manhole, which is the lid. So the sewage pipe is equal to the nadis in our body, 72,000 nadis, and the manhole, the lid, is the Marma point. That's where we access. So their humans access, your human access, like the physically a human being can go inside and they will use machine or something to pull. Here what we do is we are using our finger to access the different Marma points. Say for example, here is a Tudike Marma point. So the finger we have, I told you like already, so several classes sessions we've been talking about the three types of bodies. We have a physical body, then you have an astral body, and then the causal body. And the causal body is the one that penetrates, that is the biomagnetic body. So the biomagnetism, depending on how intense, all meditative processes. So there is a special process that we do when you're a Marma Hasan, when we become a Marma master, the special meditation practices, so that you can intensify your biomagnetism, right? So that it can penetrate. Okay, so there are some practices. So tomorrow, if you come to my meditation, Monday morning meditation, I'll teach one technique that you can use to enhance the biomagnetic energy. So it is similar to, say I have the glasses here in the windows. The sunlight comes through the glasses, it doesn't affect me, the same rays comes through. Instead of the glasses, I replace this with convex lens, right? We use for magnifier, all those, the lens, what's a convex lens? It's like this, right? So if I use, then the light bends, and it converges at one spot, and then I can get burns here, right? The same way, when your biomagnetism for normal people, the biomagnetism is not very intense. As you start to practice, some techniques, then the biomagnetic intensity increases. So with that, when you increase the biomagnetism, you are able to create laser beams out of your fingers, biomagnetic laser beams. So these laser beams are able to penetrate deep inside transdermally. Okay, so transdermal biomagnetic therapy. So I generally call it as the femtoneuro biomagnetic therapy. It is transdermal. So through the skin, it penetrates and goes inside and cleans up the obstructions in the nadis. So these points acts as the marma, is compared to the manholes. Okay, the nadis are tubes that goes all the way. That's why all the mudras, all those things, you have nadis going. So each mudra has a different kind of effect on your body. It makes sense? Okay, so now some obstruction, for example, you can have an eye problem, and that can lead to a headache. So an obstruction of dryness in your eye, for example. So one of the kavanadis are ones that secrete the liquid, right? Lacrimation, all those things. So that nadi is blocked. It could be emotional blockage or physically something happened, so it got obstructed. So those do not secrete the liquid needed for the lacrimation. Then what happens? Your eyes get dried, and once it gets dried, it affects the Chilattakala Varmam and the Uchi Varmam. There are different marmas, and then the strain comes to your head, different depending on which marma it affects. So that is what gives you like a headache. It pulls. It's a neurological or nadi neurological. Because nadis are tiny, not just the nervous system. It is tinier than the nervous system, but everything happens at that range. So the idea is like what kind of techniques are there. So I in the mornings, I many mornings in the Eastern time, 5:30, I've been giving this one technique, which you probably most of you learned probably in this group. But for some people, there is a nadi that goes all the way. I do the Kavadiyatam there. All the way there's a tube that goes all the way here to the back. It's a very important tube. Along that point, there are, say, this is the pipe that goes, and then it forms tributaries. It goes to different part of the brain, but there are different access points. The manholes are there from here, Tilatakala Varmam, Pottu Varmam, Balachandra Varmam, like that, we have Lada Murti Varmam. The center is the Turiya Adangal Varmam is there, like that, Munmudichi Varmam. All different Marma points along this line is a very important for the headache problem. And also there are, of course, I'll give you some other important, which I have given already. So that's why I did not mention those Marma points here, because I did a session here maybe 6 months back on the headache. So if you look at my old video, search for old video, you can subscribe to our Siddha Vetha channel. You can get all those information. We have a YouTube channel, many subscription, but you can join if you want to learn those. So my old videos, the marma, I've given certain marma for headache problems, so you can use those marma also, which will go through real quick, those marma points. So what is headache? Headache is not just one thing. The marma can be damaged in different ways. So let's see what all ways we can get headache through marma damage. So let's see. So I will go to force, pressure, etc. later. That's the very important thing that we do. So marma can be damaged through injuries. So you can, something would have happened. When you were young, you fell from very little, you fell from the bed, hurt, your mother didn't see that, but later on you will have an effect much later in life. Some injuries happen. You were accidentally in a dark room. You hit something on, and it hit on your head. But that time, you didn't feel the pain, or you were swimming and hit you. So these all are physical injuries that could have caused damages in the Marma system, and therefore the Marma did not give the sufficient energy flow for other organs, and that strain we feel it as headache. assaulting physical assaults, you can get headache. Little children, I worked a long time back with people, wives who have been beaten by the husbands, tortured. So those kind of things, they have, or even children, the parents beating the children physically, all these things, they cause permanent headaches in the long run. They will have problems. Mostly they will have headaches. Accidents. So accidents, of course, if you're bigger accident it impacts the whole body. You can get damages on your head, and therefore you'll have all physical jobs. Depending on what kind of job you do, if you're in the sun for a long time, doing one particular thing, and your energy is drained and only supply to part of the body, one type of job you're doing, so you're not releasing the energy circulation all over the body, but limiting to one area in the body can cause headaches. Psychological impacts. Many of the Marma has to do with psychological impacts, so tortures, which we talked about tortures also, but it could be somebody who passed away, a parent, and you cannot, you don't know how to face that, instead. So you took that as a shock that time, and that shock remained throughout. So then you will have headaches. So torments, right? This is a similar case like husband or wife, or boss, or somebody who's they feel superior than you. Okay. So other factors, see, there are many factors. I listed few of them. There might be more than that. If I remember, I'll recall. Sunlight. Like if you are going to the sunlight between, say, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, mid sunlight to 4 o'clock, that sunlight. So say 12 to 3:34, that is going to cause a lot of problem. That sunlight is going to give headaches. Okay, exposure. So the other, who is this? Okay, and then lack of energy. Okay, so the sunlight is one thing. Then we have the lack of energy. That means we overused our biomagnetic energy. You worked a lot. It's physically, mentally, without awareness. Keeping the awareness in the body about your energy. You just worked. You worked for your boss or the organization, whatever you're doing. Without seeing yourself. So that you will lose a lot of biomagnetic energy. So I teach the techniques because we all are working, we have to work in this world. But how do you retain your energy and work? They're very important. So lack of energy, most of the cases are lack of energy headaches. So for which I strongly recommend you to take my meditation sessions. So I have given a lot of techniques, and if you can go to the previous videos also, you will listen. Those techniques will prevent you from energy in a deprivation. Okay, so the other thing is that today a lot of the little kids, they have headaches, and most of the headaches come from gadgets. Straining. Why? Straining. So one thing is that we have to work through computer. Also, many people who are in this field or any field today, we need to use the computer. So the as I'm talking to you, I don't see the computer much. I close my eyes. I open. I look at my window outside. So these are techniques I got used to, so that I don't have to strain, because whatever blocks you is going to strain your eyes. We're not meant to be blocked. We should be living like animals that is exposed to the universe, right? But we build walls, like your enclosed walls in your house that doesn't have windows, so you don't see outside. So all these things are eye strain, headaches. And gadgets like is especially phone. See, the ordinarily a person, if you have to look, the photons will expand because the like your size, right? As you see another person is your own height, or a little bit here and there, but when you squeeze your eyes to see that person as big, so in a phone image, the image is very, very, very tiny, right? But you will not know whether you're straining, but your eyes need to strain so much. The marmanadi need to shrink such that you can see the image. So that image that you're going to see is going to do a lot of marma damages each time you see. I mean, we have to use your phone, but how much? So better use the phone. You can use, if you, for example, I see a lot of WhatsApp, so I put it in the computer and see the WhatsApp messages. So that way lesser eye strain. Not that just by watching, because you put in the computer, it will not. Computer also has problem, because these all are the light emitted by that. That's one thing. The second thing is our eye, even now it's still squeezing to see that. Okay, so that's very important, and that will affect not only the eye damage, but you will have migraines, frontal migraines. Headaches will be caused because of this. And then we have premenstrual headaches. Most ladies have this problem. Also, of course, some of them have periods. Many periods related headaches are either like, okay, I'm getting heavy periods. So with that fear, they will get stressful premenstrual headaches. But premenstrual by itself is the energy drain. Apanavayu is trying to, take things outside, and they preparing yourself. So the energy all will settle down from your body, and then from top energy will try to go down because you're doing other things. If you prepare yourself, I give some techniques for ladies, what you have to do before premenstrual, what kind of meditation you can do. And during periods, what are the meditations you can avoid, what you can do. And after that, so that process will make a lot of difference. Otherwise, you will have a headache every time you face that, come to that phase, the periods time, the headache will start kicking in. Then headache normally due to stress. Stress is like unnecessary things, like I have to do. You put like a lot of things in a very short time window and try to do that without the energy. You can do a lot of things if you have a lot of energy. If you deeply meditate and get a lot of energy, you can do things in a very short time. I do that. I do wait for some time and do everything within short time. That's the Vada body type. But if you don't have energy, when I don't have the energy or drained out, that is used to happen in the past when I was a young one. So then, these things come. You will get a lot of headache problems, many other problems come. So that is also a stress. Okay, stress related. If you don't drink the right amount of water in your body, you'll have headaches, especially in the summertime. And if no juicy, if you're not eating fruits and all give a lot of liquids in the body. right? If you're eating dry food, like many dry foods give headache, particularly for particular body types like pitta body type. You're taking a lot of dry foods, you will get headache. The heat will pitta vadam, also you will get headache. Then you normally and of course constipation, who have constipation, kids, if you look at kids who have constipation, eating that junk food, this junk food, like all the pizzas, burgers, and all those industrial food, and they will have, end up in constipation, and if it doesn't work out, the abana vayu reverses again, and they will have headaches. Okay. And then of course the normal headache, like cold, due to cold, you can have headaches, the normal cold. It's a very kapha based headaches. Okay, so I'm not going to this. So Marma relieving exercises, which is, I'll give you one relieving exercise for migraine, then I'll go through the slides, right? So I'll go through different slides, and you can look at in what kind of things you can do. Just focus on I've done these slides for many problems, but you focus on the headache problems. Okay, it's also, but you need to take the techniques. I'll teach some techniques in the Sunday, Monday morning, which is 5:30, which is 3 p.m. IST. Okay, so here let's do one exercise for relieving the strain. So let's do a little meditation, right? So let's do meditation on the Tilatakala Varmam, which normally we do, right? So this is a Varmam here. This is also for headache. I'll tell you how these things work. So from there we can, use that Marma to go through all the different Marmas along the line. Okay, so I'll take you. So the first is like relieving, right? Relieving Marma Points. So first we'll start to do this meditation, and then I'll tell you, I ask you to open your eyes, you can do the relieving frontal migraines. Immediately certain migraines can be solved. Anybody has a headache, migraine? Anybody in this group now, right now? You can try. If you have a headache, we can try. So not necessarily that one technique can help, but combining the technique, depending on what kind of headache is this, the problem will solve. Suppose you are not drinking any headache, any water, right? And your liquid is needed for your body, right? Because of that, if you headache, will this solve? And this Marma, right? This Marma can temporarily solve, but your job is to take sufficient water. So you need to solve the problem that way only. Okay, so don't think that but this Marma can solve for if you have a brain damage that happened, torture, all those psychological aspects. You have to do psychological thing also, and as well as you do this when you do the psychological aspects. If you have constipation, you have to relieve the constipation stuff and also do this Marma. But generally, if there is a Marma, there's drainage, the lack of the energy drain. So that this will take care of these Marma points. Okay, so let us do a meditation. So close your eyes. If you're sitting on a chair, you can keep your feet, instead of going 90-degree with your knees, you pull inside. Pull in your feet inside, or you can cross your ankles, like the right leg ankle on your left leg, and keep your hands joined this way. You can do this way also. This is also very good for Marma point. Keep it below like this, your hand, or you can do this. or this one. Okay, so for this particular exercise, may the whole world be blessed by divine. The space around us be purified by the divine. Divine descends upon us and purifies the body and soul. Salutations to your mother on the Mother's Day. The mother is your physical mother, then the Mother Earth, and the universe mother, the Shakti mother. Father, and all our great sages who gave this wisdom, the Siddhas, who are beyond time and space. Now focus in between the eyebrows. Bring your index finger close to the Tilattakala Varmam, where your eyebrows and your nose meet. Very feather touch. Feather touch is called one eighth Varma. That's the pressure unit. Okay, very gentle touch. It's like as if your finger is touching, but it's not physical. Like a feather. 15 seconds you do this. Then you gently touch, gentle touch. This is called 1/4 matre. So first pressure unit is 1/8. This is 1/4 matre. You feel the touch, but this touch is not doing anything. The touch is permanently there. It's not giving a lot of force there. Don't feel any pain or anything there. Now give a little bit of more pressure, touch. You can feel that something is there, but it's not like very painful or something, but it's a little disturbing. Something is stuck there. This is three-quarter matra. Sorry, half matra, sorry. Okay. Now bring your hands down. So we're going to use mostly these matras. So you're talking about the three different matras we saw. Just focus in between the eyebrows now. You'll feel some energy there, some warmness. As if you left something there and came, took your hand out, like a bindi or something. Now split this energy. See from here, open your eyes, gently take this energy. See, keep your hand like this. See, there is a dip here. This is called the Nakshatra Varmam, the Nakshatra Kalam. From Nakshatra Kalam, you're taking this energy here and snapping it with the thumb. So the thumb is in the dip here. So two. Okay, so you do one. This is why is through your eyebrows. Puru Varmam. Puru Madhya Puru. Madhya Varmam is here. Antra Varma is here. Puru Antra Varma. Purva Varmam in Tamil we call it. So one and snap. Okay, this is one. Second, you use the second finger, middle finger, to snap. 3, ring finger. 4, pinky. 1 cycle. Next. 1. Close your eyes and do, okay? This time. 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold like this. Don't release this. Then you do touch this points, temple, and then forward, backward, forward. Okay. Then come back to the Nakshatra Kalam. Both sides. You keep this hand, so you're doing this and then coming back with your finger, index finger. Slowly, right hand you change, swap to the thumb, and then left hand goes to the middle finger goes to the other end. Lift up your left hand and then go like this. 1, 2, quickly. 2. Again. Okay. 2, 3. That's it. So now, because it's a local marma, maybe operated the marma, you just have to go and finish this marma point. So here, you started here, again you start here, focus here. You will take the marma, 2 different marma points. Focus here. Now you do from here, you take the straight up. There are many marma nadis, and we are skipping all those. Not going to operate those things which I did in. So operate this one clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. So this is 4 finger distance from the Tilatta Kalavarmam. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. Okay, I'll give you the matras in the slide. How many matras? Then you go right. So you did this and then hold for 10 seconds. Then another 4 fingers. You go Uchivarmam. Another 4 finger distance from this marma point. You can do clockwise, anti-clockwise. Clockwise, stay there. 10. Okay, so now from here, one span. This is one span, right? One span. If you do one span, you can go to the Marma. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. Okay, Mudani Marmam. Brahmarandram. This is called Vishnu Randra. Then we go to the Serum Calling. So we'll go to the one span, another 4 fingers. One span, 4 fingers, you will feel a small landing space there. Serum Kolivaram. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, stay there. 10 seconds. And then another 4 finger. From there, you can come to the Pidarivarmam. The dip here, beginning of the dip. The dip is called Pain Kudivarmam. And beginning of the dip is the Pidarivarmam, which we have done many of the sessions. Now you take it down after 10 seconds and then touch your, you have to complete this, take it down to the Mooladhara, tip of your tailbone. Okay, and downward, you keep your hand downward, touch there and finish there. This Marma circuit. So, keep it for 20 seconds with your hand, at the tip of your tailbone, facing downward. So you complete your circuit, otherwise you'll have local magnetic flow, biomagnetic flow happening. It disturb you. So this is the technique. So here many problems are solved. Along I said, many problems are solved. There's a lot of problems, but headache, migraines solved. Particularly if you want to use how many. So I just go over one more time. So focus here. Then we did this. You split this 2, 3, 4, 3 times. Then you went here, clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, and again came back here and take your finger like this, snap it. Okay, so these things you did 3 times, and then what we did. So then again we started here because we want to complete this. So we operate different Marma points along this region, right? One, this is 4 finger distance, another 4 finger distance, and another 4 which is equal to, this is 12. So this we can do, or keep another 4 finger is the same. Okay, here, and then 4 more fingers. So you will get the Serum Kolivaram and then 4 more fingers. So, and then you went back from here, you touched, you're bringing along the line, your spine, and then bring, touch your hand, and this hand is, right hand is bringing my thing along the spine. So the whole connection is the circuit, it's a circuit. This will solve many problems, believe me or not, right? So what are the other Marma points? I'll show you, like what matra, exactly matra is and all, if you want to give in particular headaches. This over one process you do is good, right? So each point you can give 20 seconds to 30 seconds, you can go up to 20 to 30 seconds. So now I'll go to the slides again. Yeah. So these are some Marma points. Serum Kolivaram. Okay, this is a Marma. So, for example, Serum Colivermum, I'll give you this, we will circulate this, you can have, everybody can have this. What matre for occipital headache? How many matre is for general headache? That's why I gave you matre, quarter matre, 3, right? Mostly we are not going to use 3/4 1 matre, so I will limit this only. I'm not going to give you this part, we're going to erase this, but I'll give you this part where occipital matre, how much you use, 1/4, and you know, we can use 1/4 matre, okay, for in this case. Say this is the, we call it the serum colivermum, we saw that, Sivarandhra. And then we have Tilatakalavarmam. This is the first, we began with that. Okay, so actually I'll move this to the top so you can, so it's easy. So we'll start with Tilatakalavarmam. So here is also the same quarter matre. So that's what we have done. Right now we give only quarter matre. When we did this, rotation and then pressure is very, quarter matre is just a small touch. 1/8 is like a feather touch. This is a gentle touch, 1/4 matre. So this is also for frontal headache, all kind of migraines, and we saw this. Then the Uchivarmam. So probably this slides have changed. The Uchivarmam should be going here, then it will be in sequence. Okay. So the Uchivarmam, also we have migraines, frontal headaches. Okay, so 1/4 matre. Yeah. And then we have Kannadi Varmam, which I did not talk about, which we will skip today because I have a lot of other Marma points. So you can. So you have seen the Pidari Varmam. The Pidari Varmam, you can have the same thing, which is what we did, quarter matre to headache. But I'll give you all the Marma points in one slide, so it'll be there for circulation. Okay, so that is what we want to continue. So I'll give you the entire Marma point and you can take a look at it. So in one shot we did the whole thing. So each one, so we did only quarter matre, which is a touch. I told you, like very feather touch and touch, that is the quarter matre. So you do along this line, you will solve amazing, many, each one has other benefits also, which I haven't shared. By doing this, you're not going to lose anything, right? You have other benefits, like we say, side effects. It's like you have the side effects are positive side effects, right? So the side effect of Marma, if you take a medicine, is going to give a negative side effect. It will damage many organs in your body. And it will not resolve your problem. In the long run, you will have a lot of problems. But here, all the Marma that you're doing, you will resolve the problem, as well as you will have other effects that will, supply energy to the different other organs nearby. Right. So that is the advantage of this. So any questions now? Yes.
Yeah, I had a question, Dr. Shan. So
Yes.
when you're going from 1/8 to 1/4 to 3/4, and then you're holding it, and then when you releasing it, should you go slowly, gently back to from 3/4 to 1/8 to 1/4?
Yeah, automatically it happens. So here only this
that's
one.
what I meant.
So here and all, I'm only telling 1/4, 1/4. Here in this point, I just want to show you the 3 matras. That's why I did pressure there. So you just use 1/4 matra for everyone, every point. That's safe. You just touch, gentle touch. That is enough. In the first thing we showed you, so that you know how to sense, right? What's a further touch? That is 1/8. Then touch, gentle touch is a 1/4 matra, and then half is little, pressure. So to that extent, we don't want to go 3/4, 1, 2 and all, they are damaging. So we don't want to go there. Okay.
Only up to half a quarter.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Mostly we use for healing 1/8 and 1/4 only. Okay. So that's the Marma point you need to use. But the preparatory exercise, I told you tomorrow you can come, you can attend my session, So because as I told you, why Marma will work for somebody, why not for others? Because the preparatory exercise that you need to do is to have your biomagnetic energy enhancement techniques. When you understand that energy enhancement, how it works, and you can create laser beams, then you can penetrate your finger. Okay. The magnetic field goes inside, and then the solution comes instantaneously. You will see that. First of all, when you do that kind of meditation, you will prevent. See, that's why I ask you to do the Kavadi meditation or regularly. If you do, you don't need to solve a headache problem. You not get a headache. That is the thing you wanted to go for. Instead of getting some problem and solving, you prevent that problem before a headache. I never had a headache for more than 35 years now. I don't know what a headache is. How would so that is the kind of thing. Before I know if I am going to get this kind of, okay, today the heat is high, what I'm going to do, I know what all I have to do. I have to take some cool water and put on my head, things like that. So I do things. I know this is caused by this. This is the headache. This is the solution. So you should know, I didn't drink water. That is the thing first immediately you have to do. Immediately it may not solve the problem. When you drink water, it takes a few, 1 or 2 hours, then you're solved completely. So you need to know what your body wants. Understand your body's requirement. That's how it works. Yeah. Any other questions, please? Is it clear?
Hi, Dr. Shan.
A movement from the pidari to here is just to know mantra and all. So matra is like you can give half matra, just give good pressure, like nice. You can feel it, that kind of pressure. That is fine. That's all. Massagers also do that. Yes. Yes. This is Sarah. Yes,
My
please.
teenage daughter is having left side only headaches. Is that a different root cause or any
What kind
different?
of headache she has?
Left side only, like from her jaw
So
to
that is an imbalance headache. So this will align as you start to do this. It'll align, the energy shift to this side.
balance right and left.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
for that case is for her. Additional things I would suggest is the breathe anuloma viloma alternative breathing, and then do the
Okay.
marma. So air is a very important point. Another, see, as I told you, headache. If you have headache because of lack of good air quality, also causes headache. So the many of the kids nowadays, they are very shallow breathers. They do a lot of work only like in front of the book or something like that. Exercise are very limited for them. They don't do, maybe they go to gym or some particular things, but like overall fresh air is not available. So they have to take very deep breath, do the alternative. And you can, like Mani we did, like breathing to the brain. Ask her to breathe to the brain, because only when you think the switch opens, there is a connection from the nose to the brain. But that the connection, there's a knob that opens up, turns on only when you think. So she should think that it goes up and then left chamber and right chamber. So when you do that and then do the marma, then it will clear. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yes, she gets slight relief going outside. So that's the fresh air connection.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You will see that. See, you have to, all these are very, what I'm talking is all common sense. right? Common sense knowledge. You don't have to go for some medicine somebody is selling, they marketed this and they made this like a very cultural thing, and whole country came together to build medicine. And now if you question that medicine, people come out, oh, you're questioning mainstream medicine, like that. So they created the whole fake thing, with this. So if you really understand and if you know how to solve your problem, you are safe. To that extent, if you cannot help others, it's okay, but at least solve your own problem. If you want to help others, you can come forward, join us. So please, if you, all of us help each other, so we can, if you can help us with the donations, some of the donations goes to some of these things that we are doing to bring this awareness. We are trying to bring a university, so full university. So we'll be doing fundraising, but all the things that you will be doing right now will help. Okay, so we are going to go for a mass fundraising. We are going to approach some government support, everything. But we want to have a full university that will teach physically. Come and you can stay there. You can take courses. You become a mastery in all of these techniques. So that's the next level we are doing. Hopefully, we'll be finishing that project soon. So negotiations are going. So we'll see. So your help will, whatever small donations that you're making is going to help. Okay. Any other?
I just had another question. Yes. How about lymphatic drainage using Marma Points for the face?
Well, this is a different thing, right? So that one is a separate kind of whole body Marma massage, because lymphatic system is also part of Marma only. We look from a Marma perspective only. So there, most of the things rely on the topmost Marma point, Mridani Marmam. So Mridani Marmam, if you operate with some churna, for example, the depending on body type, right? You can use the Karisale or the Bringraj. What I'm talking about, the Bringraj, which is yellow Bringraj, yellow flower Bringraj, and you can use the, depending if it is hot body, you can use Rasanadi Churnam, and then you can touch these points and leave it there. There are a lot of techniques for that lymphatic drainage things. So you can do that, but that's a separate subject, by the way. So today we are limiting ourselves to headache related. So yeah, okay. Yes. Okay, so here is the link, and we are doing a retreat. Whoever wants to come and attend our retreat, this is happening in Florida this weekend, coming weekend. So the 14th, May 14th, we have a free program in Orlando. You can come and attend. And then in the morning also, if you can come next day morning, that's also free session. And then you can, if you want to retreat, the retreat center, you have to book that room, food, etc. But if you become our member, all these things are part of the program. At least we cover, not the accommodation. Accommodations are cheaper we get, because there are different, depending on, whether you want dorms or you want to stay, depends on your own preference. But food is covered, all the program is covered for 3 days. So, if you become a member, a Siddha Vetha member, you can attend all those courses. So it's all covered. So this is happening this month. Next month it's going to happen in Ohio. So it's called Mason, Mason. That's the place. I don't know if I sound right. It's Mason, Mason. So that's exclusively on Marma. If you're interested in Marma, like A to Z of Marma, I'll be teaching full. If you want, there are doctors who will be attending. There'll be physiotherapist and acupuncturist, all those kind of alternative medicine practitioners, they will be attending that course. Okay, so you are welcome to attend. That will be on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of June. And then after that will be Chicago. So Rennie, I'll let you know. So that will be in Chicago. After that, that will be in August. Okay. Chicago will be in August. In July, it will be in this in my place in Binghamton. Okay. So any other questions? We can close otherwise. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you all. So have a great week ahead.